Hello, race fans. Welcome to another Race Face Driving 5 update podcast here on raceface.tv. Jacob Seelman back with Bandolero Bandits and quarter midget driver Taegan Knowland, who is back with us for the first time since his recent. You got to spend an entire week racing here not too long ago in Tennessee, Highland Rim Speedway, or Veterans Motorplex, I guess they call it now, and the quarter mile at Nashville Fairgrounds for the INEX Spring Nationals. 5 races in 5 days, which I know was a lot of fun. And I know you haven't been in the Bando really since Winter Nationals. So how much fun was it for you to be able to get back in the car and be able to run consistently for a little bit for the first time in a while?
It was fun. It's been a bit, but yeah, it's those cars. They're very fun to drive. I like them a lot. It was nice to get back in them, especially before summer shootout.
So we'll talk just real quickly about some of your finishes. You actually were in the top 10 in all of the races that you finished. Had a couple of third place runs at each track. You had one at the Rim and one at Nashville. I want to start with Highland Rim because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but was that your first time at that racetrack?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
What
that's a
did you
fun
think of
track.
that? I was going to say, what did you think of that place? Because it's kind of like a bowl. It's really high banked and pretty fast for the bandos.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really liked it. The track, it's a very nice track. It's very fun to race. It brings there's a lot of passes and stuff you can make. The high line, it's not too preferred to go high, but I mean they said in a driver's meet, I don't know where to send you because you could run either lanes. But yeah, it's a very fun track. I wish we can go there next year for spring series.
Mhm. So your race at Highland Rim, where you ran third, I know you qualified fourth, which was really good. I know you've been working hard on your qualifying here recently, and you and Brexton, and there was one other car that really were able to pull away and kind of battle amongst yourselves. How good did you feel? Because obviously, I know Brexton's been super fast in the Bandits for the last probably 6 months or so. Did it feel good to have some speed and be able to race up there with him a little bit?
Yeah, it was very nice. We pulled away after one of those restarts, and I saw the gap I had, so I started let off and let them battle. And I think eventually Brexton pulled away. But yeah, it was nice to get that third place finish.
Nashville later in the weekend, I know you got as high as second and were battling right there with Brexton in that round 4 race. And there was an accident that you got caught up in, had to come all the way back through the field. I know you finished eighth, but to run right up there, start on the front row, have a shot at winning a race for the first time in the Bando. What was that experience like for you? Even though the end wasn't exactly what you wanted it to be, to finally be able to be up there on the front row and be able to see, hey, this is what it's like to have a shot to win one of these races.
Yeah, it was nice. It was pretty fun seeing on the front row. I'm gonna be the person taking the checkered flag. But yeah, we were hanging up with them for a lap or two, and then started to get freight train car ourselves up in the middle of the pack, spun and had to go to the back, and was working my way up, but just didn't have enough laps and finished eighth.
And I know part of that too, I think after the accident, you had a bent axle too that they found later, didn't you? That was really making it the handling difficult.
Yeah, we had a bent axle. We actually didn't know how long that had been bent, so that could have been bent from um Winter National. Sorry, I couldn't remember there. But yeah, my dad told me that I was like, dang, and we even got a third at Highland Rim with that. So just imagine what we could have done if that axle wasn't bent.
For sure. I know you guys got it repaired for that last race. pretty wild last race there too. I know you had a bunch of restarts on the outside that was a lot of fun, a lot of good battles, and ended up being able to race to a podium, finish third in that last race. How much fun was that? Not just having to work on your restarts, but being able to make up positions there right at the end. Because I know you were fifth on a green-white checkered and still managed to get back to the podium.
Yeah, it was really fun. That's probably the best race I've ever raced. Everyone up front was, I mean, we were so close. I think one time we were like four wide and we still managed to keep it. We went, I made a pass three wide for third and I couldn't believe I had made it. It was a ton of fun. I remember I came out and I was like, dang, that was one of the best. Those drivers out there with me, we're very talented doing what
Mhm.
we do, and that was just I couldn't believe it how what long we held it two wide, three wide up there battling for second, third, and even the lead at one point.
I know you're off with the bando now for the next month until summer shootout kicks off in June at Charlotte. But with these five races that you've had and finally getting some really strong finishes, do you feel much more confident going into some heavy hitter races for the summer shootout that you're going to be a whole lot closer to racing for wins this year compared to what you were last year at Charlotte?
Oh yeah, we have experience at this track now, and we have more experience heading into the shootout than we did last year. Last year we'd only ran spring series. We ran Winter Nationals earlier in the year, so we have a lot more experience in the bandos, a lot more experience with shootout since we ran all 10 rounds last year. Picked up a second last year, so I think we might be able to get it done, and I'm ready to go.
What, as a driver, Tagan, what do you feel more comfortable with behind the wheel now compared to this time last year?
Probably the whole feeling of the car and the core midgets, they're a lot different than those bandos. I say this all the time about the core midgets. You're flat foot around the whole track. And the bandos, you're braking, your cars like the core midgets, you can get loose, you can get tight, but in the bandos, it's like you're either loose, tight, it's one of the two. And I mean, it takes a bit to learn. It took me a bit to learn. But that's probably the main part. And I tell that to everyone who's like, what's the biggest jump? It's the
Mhm.
handling and just learning the car. It's the main part.
So before we talk about your sponsors, like we always do, I want to point out that you actually got this week before we taped this had some cool stuff going on outside the race car. I think you had a concert here a night or two ago that you were doing. What's all that about?
Yeah, sixth grade choir concerts, our last one of the year before we head into middle school. But yeah,
How long have you done choir? I didn't even know that.
so fifth grade I did band, which was last year, but I
Okay.
switched I switched to choir because I didn't really like playing an instrument.
I got you. So yeah, so you did choir this year. Hey, your voice is an instrument. That counts. I did choir for a couple years in college myself, so I get it.
Yeah.
Concert went well though. You guys had a good time.
Yeah, it was very fun. We got to see eighth grade and high school choirs. That was
Nice.
pretty cool.
Got a lot of things to look forward to then.
Yep.
All right, Tegan, before we cut you loose for this episode, we all know there's partners, supporters, people, companies that help make your race car go round and make it possible for you to be at the racetrack. Who do you need to say thank you to for getting you to the racetrack?
Yeah, I want to give a thanks to Thrivent Financial, Qdoba of Topeka, Manhattan, Junction City, Friends of Jacqueline Foundation, DC Lawn Care, ATP Restoration, Friends of Jacqueline Foundation, Jeremiah's Bar and Grill, and Daredevil Coffee, our newest sponsor.
Hey, coffee. That's going to be good for the summer when you've got some late nights at the summer shootout. Keep you awake, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think our whole team's gonna need it because we have a lot of cars. I want to give thanks to our guys at Racer and Performance too, who work on our cars. Yeah, we're gonna bring some spare for them and us.
It's going to be a lot of fun, Tegan. I'm excited for you. We'll look forward to talking at the end of next month when we get ready for summer shootout and talk about what you're excited for coming to Charlotte. All right. That's Taegan Knowland. I'm Jacob Seelman. As always, this has been Raceface Drive in 5. We'll keep it tuned here every day at raceface.tv for all the latest in the world of motorsports, and we'll see you next time.